Hi, how's it going? These are the albums I've listened to in December. You may ask yourself, who the fuck am I? And the answer, my friend, is I am no one. I'm just a random internet music lover just like you. So without any further ado, these are the albums I listened to in December. JC, The Blueprint. This is the first album I ever listened from JC and I freaking love it. It is groovy as fuck, it has wonderful samples. I mean, it samples The Doors and David Bowie on the same freaking song, what else do you want? And great lyrics that sometimes feel like redundant or like he's bragging, but he does it in a clever way, and also that's what this album is about in my opinion. My favorite song is Heart of the City, Ain't No Love. And my favorite line of this album is, we run streets like drunks run streetlights. So amazing album, one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time, and I'm giving this one a 6 tracks out of 10. Instead of doing the classic 0 to 10, I'll be rating in donkeys, Puss in Boots, and tracks. From 0 to 4.5 being 1 to 10 donkeys, 5 being Puss in Boots, and 5.5 to 10 being 1 to 10 tracks. Next I listened to Bad Bunny's Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana. This one, hell yeah! One of the best reggaeton albums so far. Hasn't earned the status of classic yet, but I'm sure it will. It is perfectly done all around, excellent production, great rhymes and excellent featurings, but it still is a reggaeton album, and I'm not such a huge fan. This one does make you shake your ass with clever lyrics of all the main topics reggaeton usually goes to, and I guess that's the point. I really like the part of Hablemos Mañana with one of the best Dookie performances I've ever heard. Favorite song, Solia, the synth voice at the end is orgasmic. Favorite line, mami que tú quieres, aquí llegó tu tiburón, yo quiero perrear y fumarme un blond, ver lo que esconde ese pantalón. In a whole, put this on if you want to shake your booty. This one deserves a 4 out of 10 Shreks. 21 Pilots, Blurry Face. This is a well put together cohesive pop album, even though I like Trench much more. This one is their second best album in my opinion. With a wide palette of sounds, they managed to sound cohesive and overall pleasing to the ear. Not really vibing with the reggae or ukulele parts or songs, but I mean they're skippable and they maybe don't add, but they don't subtract either. They're a meh. Favorite song, Tear in My Heart, wonderful, wonderful track. Favorite line, we don't believe what's on TV because it's what we want to see, and what we want we know we can't believe. We have all learned to kill our dreams. Liking it, but I don't think I'll be listening to this one for a while. I give it a 2 Shreks out of 10. Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. Absolutely loving the path Billie's sound is taking. Killer songs, but not killer than When We All Fall Asleep, a much more mature Billie. If you want the full review, you can check it out on my channel or by clicking in this button. Favorite track, Happier Than Ever. If Billie keeps moving towards a sound like this song, I'll be happy. Favorite line, Everybody Dies, surprise, surprise. Such a bold, stupidly simple but hard-hitting phrase. I still maintain my opinion of this album. A solid 6 Shreks out of 10. The Flaming Lips, with a little help from my friends. This is one of, if not the best album cover I've ever heard. It captures the Beatles' essence in a way that I believe if they wrote Sgt. Pepper's now, it would sound exactly like this. This has everything, from a random Miley Cyrus featuring to electric disorienting noises. Absolutely loving it and worth checking out for every Beatle head out there. Not gonna say favorite line, but my favorite track is She's Leaving Home, a real masterpiece of a cover. Giving this one another 6 out of 10 Shreks. Next I listened to Danny Brown's Triple X or 30. What can I say about this one? Just raw, explicit rap, really well put together, comedic, but not rawer than atrocity exhibition. If you call yourself a hip hop fan, go ahead and listen to this masterpiece, if you haven't already. My favorite track is 30. My favorite line is, your bitch said my dick tastes like tropical fruit Skittles. It pretty much sums up the entire album. Loving it, another 6 out of 10 Shreks. Then I listened to James Blake's Self-Titled. With every listen I fall deeper in love with this. Really emotional and cerebral with awesome production and parts that may don't feel right, but with every re-listen they make sense. The sound palette is an orgasm to the ears, it reminds me of Kid A, but in an innovative way, and perhaps even more techno-like. Favorite track, To Care Like You. Favorite line, I know it is sampled from Feast, but it still is an awesome line. There's a limit to your love, like a waterfall in slow motion. All in all, a must listen for intellectual ears. Another 6 out of 10 Shreks. Catriel El Disco. This shit is nasty as f. I'm simply loving everything Catriel puts out. This is absolutely where the Argentinian mainstream scene should be moving towards. Innovative sounds, great production, stupid, frivolous lyrics, and every track is groovy as hell. I don't recommend this one for first-time listeners to Argentinian nowadays mainstream music, but if you've already have some background, don't even think about it, just give it a listen. Perhaps start by listening to the most listened Catriel, Paco Amoroso, and Trueno songs. Favorite track, obviously Polvo, the best Argentinian track of the last 5 years. Favorite line, ¿Cuánto está? ¿Cuánto subió el dólar hoy? Which means, how is it? How much did the dollar price go up today? Regarding Argentinian peso depreciation in an ironic way. Giving this one a 4 Shreks out of 10. Next I listened to James Blake's new album, Friends That Break Your Heart. Another wonderful LP from this British genius. Really moody and wonderful sounds and lyrics. Seems like he's made some bad friendships. Just do yourself a favor and listen to it. Favorite track, Funeral, a really moving track. Favorite line, I want to live in leaves that crunch under your feet. I want to be heard if I can't be seen. Giving this one another 6 out of 10 Shreks. Modern baseball, sports. I think this one's got the status of classic in my heart. Not very innovative, but really deeply touching for my emo alter ego. Great straightforward lyrics and basic instrumentalization that carries everything in a very cohesive way. Loving this one. Favorite track, At Chloe. Favorite line, try to forget that your bones will dismantle and the dreams you've had, they'll collide with time. Perhaps an unpopular opinion, but I've been enjoying this one for quite some time and it only seems to age like wine. Giving this one 8 Shreks. Idols, Crawler. This one is weird, it gave me mixed feelings. The sound palette is wider than Ultramono, but it doesn't hit quite the same. Everything seems to be more optimistic with more digestible sounds, but at the cost of losing the grooviness and nastiness Ultramono had. This post-punk band delivers once again explicit good lyrics and this time somewhat better production. It is way more melodic and it even has a small noticeable auto-tune part which I believe suits it pretty well. I'm liking it, but I gotta give it some time to rest to really determine what I think about this one. I'd recommend, if you haven't heard Idols, to go for Ultramono first, then Joy as an Act of Resistance, and perhaps then this one. Favorite track, MTT 420, so strange, I'm loving it. Favorite line, I'm feeling magnifique. Giving this one 2 Shreks, but this opinion will surely change with time, for better or for worse. Little Sims, sometimes I might be Introvert. This is the album of the year. Groovy as British rap with awesome instrumentals, just that. You've got to listen to this one if you haven't already. It covers a wide range of topics from feminism to her personal arrival to fame and daddy issues. All this is wonderfully performed through witty lyrics and absolutely mind-blowing instrumentals that could very well be the soundtrack of a 1920s classic movie. Just shut up and listen to this one. Favorite track, Introvert. Favorite line, covered with silver linings, it took time just to learn about timing. Quite honestly, giving this one a 10 Shreks out of 10. Sam Cooke, One Night Stand, 1963 live album. How can I put this into words? Joy, this album is happiness, is feeling good no matter where you're at. Great connection with the public and amazing performance by everyone in the band. Of course, it's a 1963 album, so it's kinda lo-fi, but still enjoyable 100%. Favorite track, Cupid. Favorite line, not gonna say as he's performing his own songs, not creating new lyrics. Absolutely loving it. A 6 Shreks. Declan Machina, Zeros. Innovative, catchy and just awesome pop rock album. Friggin' loving it. Way better than What Do You Think About the Car, even though I really like that one too. This one makes you wanna dance and just have a great time. Some Queen vibes, mixed perhaps with some Arctic Monkeys. But of course, it's his own thing. Can't wait for a new Declan Machina LP. Favorite track, The Key to Life on Earth. Favorite line, the sun will melt what it can touch, but don't worry too much, as you turn to stone and the stone returns to dust. A satisfying 6 Shreks out of 10. Was Oscuro Éxtasis. Nah, this is not it. Was is an Argentinian rapper slash singer for those who don't know. On this one I think he's just trying to follow the wave of mainstream sounds, but not in a good way. Going more into reggaeton than Caravana, but none of that is close to nasty. Superficial lyrics about random topics and nonsense political opinions, in my opinion, of course. I'm sorry, I like Was, but this LP is simply forgettable, except for the Niño Gordo Flaco featuring Catriel with the I have no favorite song, and my favorite line is the recently mentioned, giving this one 6 donkeys out of 10. David Bowie, Black Star. Now this is a perfect album. For context, it was released one day before Bowie died. Instrumentals are mind-blowing with drums that make you want to grab your grandma and use her as a snare just to follow the groove, trumpets that simply couldn't have been better, and crazy guitars and bass lines. The lyrics are profound as fuck and seem to anticipate his death, as he surely had notice of. It's so sad that such a mastermind is gone. Everything about this is moving, touching and groovy as fuck. If you haven't given a listen, you have to. Favorite track, I Can't Give Everything Away. It seems like David saying his final words. I often cry while listening to this excellent ending track. Favorite line, look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen. I've got drama, can't be stolen. Everybody knows me now. Of course, giving this masterpiece a 10 Shreks. Phineas, Optimist. This one really let me down. I feel like Phineas has a lot more potential. It seems like he went for the easy and comfortable choices when writing bland lyrics and choosing song palettes. He has shown so much in his work with Billy. I hope he decides to go all into his music and cross the borders of the unknown, as I'm sure he can. This LP just feels too basic to be Phineas, but not because he's him and I expected more. It's objectively not impressive at all. Favorite track, The 90s, because I love how the autotune suits him. Favorite line, I was supposed to be happy now, there's nothing left for me to laugh about. Giving this one a Puss in Boots. Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic. Again, I expected much more from these two guys. Don't get me wrong, everything in this LP sounds awesome, but it just lacks some personality. Yes, they do innovate in some sounds, such as the amazing performance of Anderson .Paak in Fly As Me. Lyrics are good considering the surface topics they're going to. Most of it is danceable and groovy as it's intended to be, but I don't know. I honestly expected something better after listening to Leave the Door Open. Favorite track, Leave the Door Open. This song is on another level. It should win all the Grammys it had been nominated for. Favorite line, this bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. This one feels like 4 Shreks. Bright Greenfield. Awesome art punk album. Not much to say rather than a really enjoyable experience listening to this. Refreshing to the ears, innovative, experimental rock at its finest. Favorite track, PLST. Favorite line, on Concrete Island, I wave at the businessman. Giving this one a solid 6 Shreks out of 10. Damon Albarn. The nearer the fountain, more pure the stream flows. Again, I expected more from this one. Perhaps I should start not caring about which albums are going to get out and just listen to them as they are out. It's acceptable, seems kinda like Damon is staying in his comfort zone, sounding really Gorillaz-y except for the ambient aesthetic, which is new in some way. This LP is nice, just that. Nice music to listen to on Sunday noon. Favorite track, Polaris. Favorite line, crushed satellite starts in silent conga. I feel like with time I'll be liking this one more, but for now it's a 4 Shreks, which is actually not bad at all. I really like the cover too. Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure? This is a 10 out of 10 groovy house pop album from UK singer slash composer Jessica Lois Ware. This LP makes you move your hips, it brings your spirit up and it's just awesome. You have to listen to it if you haven't already. I know Fantano said this was 2020's finest LP and it was for something. Again, this is awesome. Favorite track, Remember Where You Are. Favorite line, when life is hard, that's how it goes, as your destiny unfolds, hold on. This ending song is absolutely brilliant. Giving this one 8 Shreks out of 10. Spanish love songs, Brave Faces Everyone. Somewhat refreshing emo rock album. All the themes were cliché but I guess that's what I wanted. Every song melts with the other, that being a positive or negative thing, depending on what you like. Loving the production and the simplicity of lyrics and instrumentalization. It just feels raw and somehow feeling. Really liking this one, it encapsulates the emo feeling quite well. Favorite track, Losers. Favorite line, cause half of friends are dead, the other half are depressed. Really raw and explicit as the entire album. This for me is a 4 Shreks. Billy Martin, Writing of Blues and Yellows. Really moving LP, emotional and melancholic folk songs all around. Can't believe she was 16 when she started recording this. A great gateway to Feeding Seahorses by Hand. Her mature masterpiece to the date. Favorite track, Milk and Honey. Favorite line, make my own mistakes, follow a soberly heart, I'm not afraid, I will let down my guard. This one is nice to listen to when you're feeling down. A 2 Shreks out of 10 because I don't feel like she innovates that much in any way. Mac DeMarco, Rock and Roll Nightclub. Funny little LP from Teen Mac. It's awesome to see how he's grown from this one. Still he has the same humor and silliness but in a more mature and well presented way. Some danceable tracks but nothing special at all in my opinion. The production is way too indie and trashy in my opinion. I get that it might be an aesthetic choice but not feeling this one. Favorite track, Baby's Wearing Blue Jeans. Favorite line, so you think you're lonely, you think that you're the only one, the city is getting colder, the streets are turning into ice. Giving this one 4 Shreks out of 10, just because of the sentimental link I have with this perhaps. Objectively it might be a Puss in Boots, aka a 5, but I love putting this on and just vibing on a Sunday afternoon. Nick Drake, Pink Moon. This one is really touching. Singer/songwriting at its core with deep lyrics and sadness. I can't figure out if it depresses me or makes me happy. Perhaps both, finding some joy in being sad. A classic beautiful album that I discovered by chance. Strongly recommended, give it a listen. I love that it sounds like Eddie Vedder's father. Favorite track, Place to Be. Favorite line, take a look, you may see me on the ground, for I'm the parasite of this town. Loving it. Giving this one 8 Shreks out of 10. St. Vincent, Mass Education. Girl boss attitude personified in this LP in such an ironic way. Wonderful, somewhat experimental pop album. Nice lyrics, mainly about relationships, nothing really innovative in the topics, but the main things that shine from this one are the production, the sounds, and the structure of the cohesive whole. If you've never listened to St. Vincent, give this one a listen. Favorite track, Smoking Section. Favorite line, Sugar Boy, I'm weak, got a crush on tragedy. This one for me is another 6 Shreks out of 10. Cage the Elephant, Social Cues. This one is fun, romantic, danceable and groovy at the same time. In my opinion, one of the finest LPs from Cage the Elephant. Wonderful indie rock songs all around, with the first half having more memorable songs and the second one being chill and sonically irresistible. Favorite track, Night Running. Favorite line, you make up the rules, or so they claim. One day you'll find life's not a game. Giving this one another 6 Shreks. Finally, Lil Nas X, Montero. Unbelievably popular catchy songs carried out with a futuristic aesthetic that makes this feel quite new and innovative. As I said, full of bangers and wonderful featurings and performances such as Doja Cat and Miley Cyrus. Overall, great pop/trap/rap album. Sounding new. Also loving the cover and the overall aesthetic. Favorite track, Scoop. Favorite line, stuck in this world where there's so much to prove, every win gives you more room to lose. Another nice 6 Shreks out of 10. Oof, okay, so that was the music I've listened to in December. I hope you enjoyed this video and please let me know because it takes quite some time to do this. Anyway, See you in the next video. Also, please consider subscribing because I want to monetize the channel. Again, thanks a lot for watching.